Oi kids, Slacker Kite here. Today we are playing on the good, the bad, the ugly Marvel Puzzle Quest, and this is a bad game. I wanted to say it's a good game, and there is a lot of good to it, but there's so much that's gone wrong with it. Let's just take an overhead look at this now. To begin with, you start off, you have a couple different scenarios that open up to you. You start off with Hammer, which is the most basic. You can also do versus battles against other people and events that also allow you to do battles against other people. And again, these events are little battles you can do against other people. Now, I've invested about 6 hours of gameplay into this, and I am not that good, so not really worth my time. But instead, let's talk about the missions here, and that's kind of where the meat and potatoes of the game really takes place. Is that you do little battles with your roster. Well, right now my roster looks a little bit like this. Averaging out about level 10, some of these guys are completely useless, I could probably sell them off. Each character has a star ranking on it, like my Ragnarok here is a 3-star character, level 15, but he only has 1 power to him because it's hard to find 3-star covers. And you can level up your characters by spending experience. Would be fairly easy for me to spend that, except for I'd have to get his godlike power abilities up. And you can only raise them as high as the amount of power you've actually spent on them. So in order for me to level up this character, I'd have to spend this amount of gold coins in order to power it up, or I'd have to find another cover for him, which is fairly difficult to find because he's a 3-star character. Meanwhile, I have a whole bunch of 1-star characters and a modern Hawkeye. The game actually seems to want to focus on giving you characters from the Avengers. You start out with Iron Man, and it's very easy to purchase Black Widow and Hawkeye. Storm kind of comes in by accident, and you get a Bagman version of Spider-Man, and I don't even know what Bagman version of Spider-Man means. But let's give a quick battle here, and see if we can pull something out here. We'll do a normal battle here. This is the last one in this particular scenario, where we're fighting off the Juggernaut and 2 soldiers. And these are the things that we have a chance to win. You'll notice when you look at the overall map, each one of these, you can replay them, and you have a chance to win each one of these. However, the first time you'll always win something. However, each time after, if you win, and you technically win the slot of the thing that you've already won, you're only going to get 20 ISO 8, which is particularly useless, really. So we'll go with our best team here. Let's get rid of the Thor that they give you because he's pretty low level. Or actually we can't do that. Oh, we have to use, this is the special Thor just for this, but we also happen to have in our team this Thor and the other Thor. Wait, so let me change off? That's really strange. So why won't it let me change this Thor? It has to be Thor, but not that Thor. A different Thor. It's kind of weird, but whatever. Let's see, so we have to use this Thor, so we'll take a look. He has Bajonler's Might, Thunderstrike, and Call the Storm. He is better than our Thor, so we'll use him. We also have a choice between Iron Man and our level 15 Ragnarok. Ragnarok has a lot more health than Iron Man, so I might go with that. Black Widow, not a lot of health even for level 10. Black Widow's pretty useful because her recon ability drains the amount of mana the other character can use. Well, mana, color tiles, whatever you want to call them, and I'll show you in a minute. And then Widow Sting stuns them for a while. Very useful, but she dies really easily, and on this battle I kind of need a lot of health, so I'm going to trade her out for Iron Man. 750 health, not too shabby, so we've got a fair amount of health to work with. So let's go ahead and fight, and we'll go into the basics of this. You can also, before a fight, boost. So these are our boost, and that window does not look very pretty, guys. But you can move this to scroll about. So let's see here. We have a couple of things we can use. Let's go ahead and use these. I mean, I'm not going to be a whole lot into this game much longer for obvious reasons afterwards. Let's throw that in, and I don't know, 3 blue and purple AP stockpile. Actually, that's really not very useful. Let's change that to yellow and blue and pink. Why not? That should help us out in the fight, I think. Anyway, let's go. So, you start out with these little scenarios here. This is Juggernaut, for instance. And, yeah, so they're calling him out that a god has to take down the Juggernaut. Now, here's the thing that you may notice as well. Okay, so there are 3 characters. You may think you might want to fight the Juggernaut first, but what we want to do here in this case is take out the soldiers first. That'll give us more room to actually attack. Now, the interesting thing here is you may see that, like, for instance, Iron Man's symbol is on the blue. Thor's is on the green, and then the Ragnarok version of Thor is the little cracked hammer here. Whichever character has the most power when I'm using a specific color is the one that the color will actually pull up. So, if we say pull blue here, we switch to Iron Man for our turn. So when they deal damage back, they deal damage to the last person that attacked. Actually a pretty cool little thing that they worked in there. Now in this fight as well, we want to make sure that red and green aren't taken, because those are the colors that the Juggernaut will use. And the Juggernaut's attack is pretty much a one-shot anytime he uses it. So if we can avoid them taking up any of the red and green items, that would actually be really good for us. You'll also see these little city ones. Now, you can see, like, there's pink here, you can spin that on things, there's blue, etc., etc., and those all allow for different things to happen. But the city ones, you can spend on these points, the scenery points. You can use it to heal, or if you have 210, you can destroy tiles on the board and you gain those tiles. I've never actually gotten to a fight that has absorbed that many tiles. Already we're taking damage from the Juggernaut, but it's a low damage attack that he's using, so not the end of the world in that case. You can also see they've laid out some tiles here, some purple tiles, that if we allow that to count down all the way, that will launch an attack from these soldiers, and that's why I want to kill them off first, so that I don't have to worry about clearing the board of tiles, and instead I can just focus on actually destroying the enemy. So that's, I mean, basically the fight here. And you can see, yeah, Juggernaut just pulled off a devastating attack on us, took out a whole bunch of points. Luckily, Ragnarok is high enough level that he survived through that one. But it's not looking the best for us that we've ever seen here. This is not my best round, and ooh boy, they've already got enough green for another attack on Juggernaut's end. We might just lose a character in a second here. Suppressing fire, not that bad, but in comes a Juggernaut. 108, 47 damage, another 41 damage. Okay, it's livable, that's livable. Let's not worry too badly about this. Clearing this will also drop down, clear out that. Good for you. So, it also helps to try to chain your attacks here. We kind of don't want Ragnarok to be stuck here. We want to pull out Thor if at all possible, but I don't see any regular hammers on the board. Oof. And it sucks for Ragnarok. I kind of don't want to lose him yet. So let's go ahead and let Iron Man take a little bit of damage. Okay, moving forward here. See, we've almost got down one of their snipers. That's a good place to be, getting rid of that threat. Maybe if we can get enough scenery. Oh. Okay, not terrible yet. Okay, good. So we're still surviving, scraping, surviving good times. We've gotten rid of one of the soldiers, so there's less scenery damage we have to worry about. Jesus. Alright. So, looks like we haven't a whole lot of choice but to use Ragnarok. That's going to be a fair amount of damage. Kind of don't want to lose him yet, if at all possible, but yeah, that's just... Oh, we're attacking Juggernaut directly. I kind of wanted to attack the soldier directly, if at all possible. Let's see here. Now, of course, there may be somebody in the comments saying, oh, you're doing this completely wrong. You should take down Juggernaut first because he's the highest level character. And, you know, for all I know, they might be right. It seems to make the most sense to me to get rid of the ones that will lay out the attacks that are spread out on the grid, because those grid attacks can be pretty darn deadly here. And we are looking really bad at this point. I don't think we're going to win this fight, and there's going to be some little bit of commentary on that in just a couple of minutes here. Once we actually lose the fight, which I am almost 100% certain at this point that we are going to lose. So, okay, we finally used one of our attacks here. Armored Defense puts up armors that deal, so anytime they deal damage, they deal 4 less damage now that these 2 tiles are on the board, versus their enemy tiles that are on the board that, when they expire, they blow up, all that good jazz. That's all a little bit different, so, you know. And these are all really good ideas, and I like the premise that this game offers, and there goes Iron Man. So we're just left with our Thor at this point. Oh, that's ugly, with a capital UG. Let's see here. Well, there's no chance of him getting any red or greens, which is pretty fantastic on that end. But we're about to die if we don't pull out something amazing. Cool, we downed the soldier. Oh, hey, we should have Ultra Freon Beam. We have 24. Blue, why? Oh, because Iron Man's dead. So we only have Thor's powers with green, yellow, and red. So blue is not going to help us out anymore. If we had lived with Ragnarok one more turn, that might have helped out a fair bit. Alright, so first call is to keep him out of green and red. Oh, he's going to get green here. Hopefully that's not... Yep, that will not be enough for him to pull anything. So, our next call would be to see if we can get some health tiles in here. Or if we can just deal some amazing amount of damage, pull it out of our butt somehow, that would also be amazing, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. Let's see here. Pink is entirely worthless to us, so let's... Well, blue is also worthless, but we can pull a chain out of that. How did that not... Oh, that must not have been there before that we could do that. Couldn't pull out the tiles that would have pulled more city-based things. Oh, we have... Let's see. That will deal critical damage, so that's nice. Always helps out in a pinch. Who knows, we may be able to pull this off as long as we can keep the Juggernaut away from red and green tiles here. Oof. Yeah, that was not good. Oh, hey! Oh, that helps a lot. Okay. Oh, no, Hot Stock stands 55. We need 2 more. Oh, hey, there we go. Alright. Hot Dog stand plus 50. Still not in good territory here, I'm afraid, but, you know, slightly better, slightly better. So we want yellow, green, red. Let's pull some yellow here. Thunderstrike could be really good, could be really bad if we can pull that off. Oh, he's going to get 4 in a row. That's going to kill us. There you go. And that is game. We are defeated. As you can see, though, killing off the soldiers tends to help get rid of that. So if our heroes were leveled up a little bit higher, we may have been a little bit better at that. So here's the question that you might have then. Why aren't you going back and fighting these earlier things? And, you know, gaining more experience so you can go in and fight the harder things and it'll be easier. Well, I've tried to refight some of these fights and there's rewards still sitting here. I've redone this one several times. Each time I go, I win 20 ISO 8, which 20 is just not nearly enough. In order for me to, say, train up Iron Man, I need 300, so I have to do that fight 15 times. And hopefully you do win, but as well, you have to consider if you even get the thing that you might want. Like, look at this. Your chance to win are power boosts, which are virtually useless. They're piles of crap. So the easiest way for you to power up your character is to buy coins. And by buying coins, then you can spend that on your power here, and then you can buy some ISO 8 in the store. Oh, well, and that is kind of the problem that we run into here. In order to power up your character so you can keep going, keep winning, you kind of have to start spending money after a certain point, after I'd say about 4 hours. The first 4 hours, I think, are pretty fantastic, but at the near the end of the Juggernaut's battle here, you kind of run into a dead wall here, unless you want to spend the money on it, or like do one battle every day and then wait another day and see if you can pull it out. That's a real problem with this game, is that it just is not balanced in the way, say, like Plants vs. Zombies are, or even your Candy Crush, in the way that the game itself feels balanced towards a free-to-play and entices you to buy things, rather than forcing you to buy it in order to progress. At this point, I feel like I have to buy these things in order to progress, in order to get further in the game. And that is the problem with Marvel Puzzle Quest. I love the series, but this is not a good one. Even for free, I recommend avoiding it. Pick up Spelunky, it's like a couple bucks. You'll have a whole lot of fun with that. This, I cannot recommend this game to anyone. So, it's not an ugly game, and maybe if you want to spend like 10, 20 bucks on it, you might get enough enjoyment out of it to last you the amount of time that it'll take for that money. But for me, I can't recommend it. Marvel Puzzle Quest, a bad game. This is Slacker Kite. Enjoy yourselves. Good night.